Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Systems of Equations, Set 3, Problem 3. Problem 3. Paula and Veronica are selling cookies for a school fundraiser. Customers can buy chocolate chip cookies and shortbread cookies. Paula sold 18 boxes of chocolate chip cookies and 16 boxes of shortbread cookies for a total of $257. Veronica sold 12 boxes of chocolate chip cookies and 14 boxes of shortbread cookies for a total of $200.50. What is the cost of one box of chocolate chip cookies and one box of shortbread cookies? So we have two unknowns here, and the unknowns are the cost of chocolate chip cookies and the cost of shortbread cookies. So we let X equal the cost of the chocolate chip cookies, Y equals cost of the shortbread cookies. So for Paula, our equation is 18X plus 16Y equals 257. For Veronica, the second equation is 12x plus 14y equals 200.5. Now, we will simplify the second equation by dividing each term by 2. We recognize that we can simplify the first equation. So when we do that, when we simplify the first equation, we divide each term through by 2. So we have 12x divided by 2 plus 14y divided by 2 plus 200.5 divided by 2. And we end up with 6x plus 7y equals 100.25. So now we have 18x plus 16y equals 257. 6x plus 7y equals 100.25. Now we choose to eliminate the x terms, so we're going to need to use the next concept. We need to look for the least common multiple between 6 and 18. So the least common multiple between 6 and 18 is 18. So now what we decided to do is that in this case, the first equation, the coefficient is already 18. So we don't need to do anything to the first equation, but we now know in order to get the same coefficient for the x term in the second equation, we need to multiply the second equation by -3. So once again, each term gets multiplied by -3. So -3 times 6x. -3 times 7y, -3 times 100.25. So our second equation after being multiplied by -3 is -18x minus 21y equals -300.75. And just above that we have the first equation, which is 18x plus 16y equals 257. So now that for the x terms, the coefficients are the same number but opposite in sign, meaning in this case they are additive inverses because -18 is the additive inverse of 18. So when we combine these equations, when we combine them, the x terms, they cancel each other off, and now in this case on the left side 16y minus 21y gives me the -5y. On the right side 257 minus 300.75 gives us a -43.75. So what do we do now? Now that we're here, we don't have the y by itself yet. So from this point, what do you do next? Can you tell me that? I'm waiting. Ah, yes. Very smart students. We need to divide these two terms by -5 because we need to get rid of the 5 on the left side. So after dividing both sides of the equation by -5, we find out that y is $8.75. So now we will substitute y equals $8.75 into the second simplified equation in order to find out what x is. So now we show you here that in place of y, we substitute 875. Then we multiply these two terms and we get now 6x plus 61.25 equals 100.25. And we know we need to get the x term by itself. We need to get the 6x by itself. So we need to subtract 61.25 from both sides. So we need to go ahead and do that. So we need to subtract this out. So when I subtract 61.25 from both sides of the equation, the 6x comes down on the left side. And now here on the left side, the 61.25, they cancel one another because they are additive inverses. On the right side, 100.25 minus 61.25 is 39. Now we know we need to divide each term of this equation by 6. After dividing each term by 6, x is equal to $6.50. So here's what we know. A box of chocolate chip cookies cost $6.50. A box of shortbread cookies cost $8.75. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me know if this video instruction was clear and easy to follow. This is how we approach word problems. We need to identify the unknowns, use variables to label the unknowns, and then set up our equation. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your teacher and your instructor, Mr. Joshua Davis. Please have an outstanding day and thank you for joining me.